Good morning. My name is Sarai Ajai, and thanks for watching. This is the fifth documentary on identity theft, and I am recording. Today is April 23rd, 2017, and the time is approximately 22 minutes after 9 a.m. I would like to tell this story of the broken window effect theory based on an effect of a broken window or abandoned vehicle in a community or society, and people walk past it every day and never correct it. That's signaling that the community doesn't care about their environment to correct the broken window or remove the abandoned vehicle. The same occurrence with the broken mirror effect and identity theft. When this occurs, you're signaling in society you can erode anyone's rights because society doesn't care. People are watching, and they would do the same to you. The broken mirror effect is a little different because you're dealing with human rights and your protection rights under the United States Constitution. The broken mirror theory is a criminological theory of the norm settings, concealment trends, and identity theft, false impersonation, signaling effects of solidarities of society disorders, and to pretend the original persons are not on their original identity and to achieving additional crimes, and the rights of others are persistently violated by their sinister behavior. What affect me directly will eventually affect you. You see, they're superseding my rights, claiming that I'm not the original. Who's next? Whose rights next will be violated with this method? I should be protected under equal protection. I should be able to file paperwork on due process. They're blocking me as if I'm not even a U.S. citizen. It's true. I have federal dockets and exhibits as proof. When this occurs, the broken mirror effect occurs. I then experience the identity segregation, conformability methods by means of forged racial economic subsidies, enrichments, and entitlements that the identity thieves or their special interest groups preferably treated and profiled more favorably because their cover-up deprived me of the ability to seek a meaningful redress in a judiciary system by causing an unconstitutional, unlawful estoppel or delay. And the completion in my due process and a continuous violation acts, which I'm experiencing from 2003 up till now, this continuous violation act based on my fundamental rights to due process. When I found this issue, no one wanted to let me complete my due process, nor did I get any accessory instruments, meaning petitions, from law enforcement Under the Fifth Amendment, I need to know who my accusers are. Someone filed paperwork claiming that I stole their identity. I'm supposed to be served. I never got a summons. I never got any paperwork from the judiciary system that someone was falsely impersonating me, or they claim I wasn't the original and I need to show up in court. Only incident that occurred was that 2005 incident that I mentioned in an earlier documentary, and that was a traffic violation. I was stopped illegally to show up in the court for identity theft. That's basically what it was, but they never told me. It was an empty court. Usually there are thousands of people in a traffic court violation. I never received anything. This is, my rights are being superseded by false impersonation, and they're escaping prosecutorial consequences because of it. I never got the paperwork, not once. Either they stole it from my P.O. box, or if they did it through a courier, I didn't sign it. I didn't even receive it. I'm ill. My prognosis is getting worse. And they lied about my existence under my official paperwork. I was stalked, harassed, verbally abused, and abused physically because I possess my birthrights of a United States citizenship, or someone's personating me and never told me that they were personating me. I was profiled. They made sure they let me know I was profiled, but never told me why I was profiled. And I was profiled probably because they claimed somebody else was me and wasn't. Under national security, this should be an alarming issue. And doesn't even match for what people known about it. When I'm out and about doing errands, some people would tell me they don't even look like you, not even close. So how were they able to get around national security with this issue? They filed a petition. I'm not even getting the paperwork of these allegations, these accusatory instruments. I'm not even getting anything. They're just filing paperwork. And my rights are being taken away. I have no rights. Because of their personal issues, I have no rights. I don't even know the people that's on my paperwork. How did they get to it? I don't know them personally. These are the questions you should be asking yourself. I never waived my rights to friend, family, or foe, especially my family, because I know they're part of this problem in the first place. One of them, or all of them, in a conspiracy was claiming that I probably wasn't on my paperwork to override my rights. I was disenfranchised and left abandoned because of this issue. So when they start complaining and people realize I'm on my right paperwork, the people they told this to start doing the same thing to me. And similar, it's called a derivative, but I'm going to do it in layman terms, a domino effect. It's gargantuan now. Based on false rumors. False rumors that ruined my life and my reputation. Libelous. And now and incited a hate crime. It developed into a hate crime. It hit every civil rights violation. when they did this to me. And I don't even know the people on my paperwork. It hit every civil rights category in violation. When I'm on my right paperwork, my correct paperwork. They verbalized they didn't choose me to be me. So they feel they have the rights to either personate me when they come around me. They tell me they have the rights to personate me. Or they show up and I will be denied service. It happens all the time because I'm on my right paperwork. It happened to me at the hospital last week. The attitudes were there because someone claimed that I was personating someone else. And that they're on fake paperwork. Or they cry. And I don't even know why they cry. I have no rights because of their problems. And I didn't cause it. So when this occurred, and this broken mirror effect, because it's based on a bad man theory. And what is a bad man theory? Oliver Wendell Holmes. That's where it came from. The bad man calculated rules. It's the bad man's rules. Not United States or state laws. It's the bad man's rules. On how much a bad man can appeal the rules for which supersede in constitutional statutes. That's what happened. They appeal or cry to supersede my rights, my protected rights, because societal force of law against his immortal acts before they catch up to what they've done. The bad man theory is a jurisprudential doctrine or belief occurring in which a bad person views of the law represent the best test. The best test. It's a hellifying test of what exactly the law is, because that person shall carefully and precisely calculate what the rules allow and operate up to the rule limits. That's the broken window effect on the identity, false impersonation. They're going to test it and see. And then you should be asking this question: who's next? Who's next? If you have your PhD, I can impersonate you, because we did it once before with Miss AJ's paperwork. Who's next? You have your Bachelor's of Science, your BS degree. Who's next? I think we got a predicament. No one will have any rights according to the bad man theory effect, because he's testing the rules. He's already observing the measurements of how much he can. If I don't like her, I feel I have the rights to impersonate her and take her life away from her or him. Who's next? Who's next? I like this person more than I do the original, so I feel that I have the rights to take from the original to give to someone else. You have no rights. That's called involuntary servitude of the 13th Amendment. The bad man is testing these laws, have botched my cases, so who's next? You can't even exercise your rights. We have no democracies according to the bad man theory. The bad man's logic, because he tested the law. He said, okay, I can override her rights and her son's rights and shoot him in the head and get away with it. I can do mass extermination now under this identity segregation, conformability methods. There's your involuntary servitude. When I never waived my rights, gave anyone power of attorney or affidavit. Who's next? On a hit list. Seem as though they can do anything they want. That's what they told me. We have no rights. I feel that my rights been intangibly kidnapped, if you can understand. It's not a physical kidnap, like a person, but my information can also be kidnapped intangibly. Have a blessed day.